Much like Ali, Walden Bello is close to a global celebrity. Beyond that, he outdistances all these autobiographers through his smooth blend of extraordinary activist commitment with an academic career that spans several countries. Global Battlefields showcases a gifted and principled man driven by an outsider's ambition to storm the gates of an oppressive social order. In terms of titles and positions, Bello is most recently an international adjunct professor at Binghamton University, while also professor of sociology and public administration at the University of the Philippines at Diliman. He has served as a member of the House of Representatives of the Philippines and executive director of the regional policy think tank Focus on the Global South. He is additionally the founder and chairperson of the Democratic Socialist Electoral Coalition Alliance, Laban ng Masa, Fight of the Masses. And in the 2022 Philippine elections, he was the running mate of labor leader Leody de Guzman in the unsuccessful presidential campaign. His parents, Luz Flores and Jesse Bello, were artists in Rizal, sending Walden to the Jesuit school Ateneo de Manila. From there, he went to do graduate work at Princeton University, where he became an activist in the anti-Vietnam War movement. Again, like Ali, he begins the narrative of his political exploits with participation in a dramatic protest, in this case, leading an occupation of the Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs, in 2020 renamed the Princeton School of Public and International Affairs due to Wilson's well-known racism. Now thoroughly radicalized, he traveled to Chile and stayed in shanty towns to conduct graduate research following Salvador Allende's rise to the presidency in 1970. When he returned to the United States to defend his dissertation on Chile, he lost his ability to return to the Philippines. His passport had been revoked as a result of the declaration of martial law by President Ferdinand Marcos in 1972. After receiving a PhD in sociology 1975, Bello became part of the anti-Marcos movement, while he commenced a teaching career at the University of California at Berkeley. He also joined the Communist Party of the Philippines, and his activism led to his being arrested multiple times during protests. The most sensational incarceration came in 1978, when he led the takeover of the Philippine consulate in San Francisco. This was followed by a hunger strike to bring attention U.S. complicity with the dictatorship in the Philippines. As described in detail in this autobiography, Bello subsequently broke into the headquarters of the World Bank and stole 3,000 pages of confidential documents showing the connection of the IMF and World Bank to Marcos. Shortly afterwards, he published Development Debacle, the World Bank in the Philippines, 1982, which he believes contributed significantly to the 1986 People Power Revolution. These were nonviolent protests that forced Marcos out of power, after which Bello could return to his native state. In 1995, Bello co-founded Focus on the Global South, a policy research institute based in Bangkok, Thailand, and 3 years later he led teach-ins during the World Trade Organization WTO protests in Seattle. This was followed by similar demonstrations at the 2001 G8 Group of Eight Summit, the 2003 WTO Ministerial Conference, and more. Bello began to turn away from the Communist Party of the Philippines after he heard that it allegedly killed thousands of individuals in the 1980s and 1990s, members dubiously accused of being double agents during the infamous anti-DPA, Deep Penetration Agent, campaign. These shattering revelations and events forced Bello to painfully break with former comrades and the party leader, Jose Maria Sison, 1939 to 2022, who would denounce Bello as a traitor. Bello later joined the Akbayab Citizens Action Party and became a member of Congress in 2007. In March 2015, Bello resigned his position in Congress due to conflicts with President Benigno Aquino III. He ran for senator in 2016 but lost. Today, Bello is on the board of directors of the International Forum on Globalization and on the board of directors of the leftist think tank Center for Economic Policy Research and a member of the regional Greenpeace, but political harassment continues. In August 2022, he was arrested by the police in his home in Quezon City. This was the result of a June indictment stemming from a complaint filed by a former Davao City information officer that was denounced by the European Parliament and the ASEAN Parliamentarians for Human Rights. The sprawl and prolixity of this book, due to so many events covered and compounded by very small print, will certainly be a challenge, especially for those unfamiliar with the Philippine left. Bello does make periodic attempts to briefly take the reader behind the political mask to more intimate matters, allowing us to catch a few glimpses of the elusive self. There are references to his pot smoking and even a page on women and me. Even so, one senses that he, too, sands down the edges of private life to make it more palatable for a general audience. Apparently, he has never had moments of cowardice, carried out a vendetta, engaged in a turf war, or acted out of pure self-interest. Nevertheless, Bello has led a spectacular life, and Global Battlefields is utterly fascinating even where it is not entirely satisfying.